Well, hey there, fellow worship and tech friends. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryland Russell. Thanks for hopping on the live stream today. Hopefully this one is a little bit smoother than my last attempt at this. So I'd love to know who's joining on the live stream, where you're watching from, maybe what you do. Are you a worship leader? Are you a tech person? I would just love to know, like, who's actually jumping on the stream today. So as we get going, let me show you kind of how I've got things set up here in my office for this stream today. If we hop over here to this cam, I've got an ATEM Mini Pro right here that is handling the feed from my G85, and then the camera you're seeing right now is actually a GH5, and those are sending just over HDMI into the ATEM Mini Pro. And then I've got my MacBook Pro right here sending two separate displays, one that's just handling the live stream review part that we're going to be doing, and then another feed is sending out H2R Graphics, this little program that is sending graphics over to the ATEM Mini Pro, and it's supposed to be able to enable me to do like the chat overlay, but I'm getting an API error, so it's not working right now. It's my first try with it, so I've got to adjust something with that. But the reason I'm doing that is because what happened last time was my little MacBook Pro, I've had it for a long time, and it just could not handle the encoding, and so along with doing all the other stuff. And so right now it's just going to be playing YouTube videos for us to watch, and then the ATEM Mini Pro is actually handling the encoding that you're seeing for the stream right now. So looks like we got a few guys hopping on. John David, he's from Wisconsin. He's an assistant pastor. Awesome. Assistant to the regional pastor. Thanks for hopping on. Then we got John David from Jacksonville, Florida. Creative intern. Man, I got my first media intern this year, and it's been a game changer. He only works 20 hours a week. He's a senior in high school, but shout out to all the creative interns because you are much needed. So that's awesome. Stephen Lamar from Pickerington, Ohio, and he's a techie. Cool. That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks for hopping on. Audio-wise, how I'm doing this is a little bit different as well. Let's see if you can see this. Right here, I've got this little Tascam. Oh, what is it? It's a little mixer that is really meant for cameras. And I've got my microphone, which is actually just a little cheap AKG because it has a on-off switch on it, so I can mute that if I need to. And then that is going into this. And then my headphone jack from my MacBook Pro is actually going to be sending the audio over to this, and then that goes into the ATEM Mini Pro. So if you're doing the line in on the ATEM Mini Pro, you probably realize you have to really crank down that gain. So if you're setting something up and you're having trouble with that, go into the settings and try that. So let's see. How I want to get started today, I want to do a few things on the stream today. Just hang out, chat with you guys. If you have any questions, I would love to just field some questions. I am not the smartest man in the room, but I have learned from my own mistakes. So maybe I can help you out. But we're going to start off by reviewing one of our previous streams at our church. And then I want to share with you a couple of streams from local churches here in Oklahoma. I'm in the Tulsa area, Owasso, Oklahoma, that are really killing it in the live stream arena. So what I want you guys to do, we're going to watch just one of the songs from a previous service here at our church, Central Baptist, and I'll kind of give my thoughts, but if you want to post your thoughts in the comments as well, and let's just jump into it. Hey, Willie. Hey, John. Thanks for hopping on. All right, let's see if I can do this. Oh, look, there I am. All right, let's come over here. This is Resurrecting, and we'll just play it over here. Let's just use this next song to remind ourselves of what Christ has done on our behalf. All right, so we always like to start with a wide shot just to kind of give establishing shots in case we use these songs separately from the live stream. So I'm just setting up the song here. And then on this song, I actually have a co-leading thing where the female takes the verses in the opening, and then I'll take the bridge.
The head that once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet. Now at his feet we bow.
All right, so that is an automatic panning in or zooming in and zooming out. All right, so let me just comment here for a second. This is an instance where we just have trouble sometimes balancing our camera stuff for different singers. Like this singer, Caitlin, is an amazing singer, and but she's very fair-skinned. And so we had set up the light cues previously where it was a little bit dimmer, but right now it probably could be a little bit brighter. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Let's keep going.
Now shines for all to see. Your name is victory, and all praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory, and all praise will rise to Christ our King.
How's the volume out there for you guys? Can you hear everything okay? Comment. Here's our drum slider.
The fear that held us now gives way to him who is our peace. His final breath upon the cross is now alive in me. Your name is victory, and all praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory.
I'm gonna turn myself off so you can see.
Will rise to Christ our By your spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King.
If you guys don't know, I've actually made a video about how we are doing these little lyrics with the rougher background on my channel. Those are just coming as an audience look from Pro 7. So our lyric video on the screen is totally different than what's coming on to the live stream. And so if you look at our screen, it's completely formatted differently. Love those kind of shots. Gotta have a roaming guy. These are the best. Uh-oh, the hand's covering the face. But yeah, so check that out if you're curious how I'm doing these lyrics like this.
He's resurrecting me. By the Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrecting King, He's resurrecting me. In Your name I come alive to declare Your victory. The resurrecting King, He's resurrecting me.
Gotta go to the guitar solo. We had some Source 4 juniors that were burned out that point at the guitarist that day.
The tumor soldiers watched in vain, was borrowed for 3 days. His body there would
She's in
not
complete darkness. I
remain.
mean, that's what the verse is about, though.
'Cause our God has robbed the
Come on, declare it.
grave.
Our God has robbed the grave. Yes, yes,
All lights on now.
sing your name is victory.
There we go.
Your name is victory. And our praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. And our praise will rise to Christ.
All right, guys, I think you get the idea there. Let's see. Love the drum breakdown there. All right, so there's just a clip from our stream and some of the things that we're working on improving. If you want to know the details in and outs of like every camera we're using, all those things, there's a video on my channel where I talk about every single position that we have. We only have 2 camera operators on Sunday mornings, and we have 1 stream director, and we have 8 cameras. And so we just try to do our best to make it dynamic. Some of the things we're battling against is like we have some mixed key lighting. So we have a lot of Source 4 Juniors, but then we also have some moving lights that we're using to spotlight people, and it's not the same color temperature. And so one of these days we're going to be able to invest in some actual moving lights that we can match the white balance on. And so, there's always stuff to improve. I would love to check out some of your streams. If you're just joining us, just hopping on, post in the comments, and maybe we can look at them together and give each other feedback. And don't be scared. And I'll be nice to you. So let's see. In the comments, Caleb Rhodes asks, "Are we using Ableton?" Actually, no. The only time I ever used Ableton was before Multitracks kind of came out with playback and you had to download everything into an Ableton session. We actually run all of our tracks through ProPresenter 7. We've done it for years in ProPresenter. Everything is linked to either on a timeline or it is on a lyric video, and it's just coming left, right out of the headphone jack of our iMac. And so we don't separate out all the tracks. I mix the tracks, usually sitting at front of house, and then just bounce them down into an MP3 file. There's less things to go wrong that way. The only time, actually it's never happened. Some people like to be able to have the flexibility to like put in the bass player if the bass player is gone or something like that. I've never had to do that. We just have enough volunteers to cover, so that's kind of how we're running it. I probably need to dive into the Ableton world a little more because right now I'm kind of using ProPresenter as a lot of people use Ableton. Like I send MIDI cues from it and I use the timeline of it, and I don't know. You guys all using Ableton? Like, are you guys big believers in Ableton? I know a lot of people love it, and I'm going to show you a church that does some cool stuff with Ableton on their stream. Well, I won't really show on the stream, but I did a little tour of their church, and they were telling me some cool stuff they do with Ableton. But yeah, let's see if I can find where my little mouse is. Which of your videos shows the camera positions? There's one that's called Tech Rundown, affordable broadcast setup, I believe. Yeah, it's got an orange kind of background to it, so I'm holding cameras like this. Hopefully that helps. Caleb says they use Loop Community. All right, you guys, Loop Community or Multitracks? What are you big believers in? I usually just use Multitracks, but I've used Loop Community for years as well. If you go way back, man, I'm the guy who was downloading loops from BWax Forum. If you remember BWax Forum, give me a thumbs up in the comments. That was Dave Crowder's drummer, and he had a forum where people would share tracks like way back in the day. So, but yeah, I don't know. Loop Community, Multitracks, what do you guys prefer? I don't know that there's really that much of a difference. Our youth use Loop Community because of Prime is a little bit is it Prime? Is a little bit easier to navigate, I feel like. But yeah. All right. So let's see. I've got so much to talk to you guys about. It's just been a crazy last couple of weeks. Man. So I went on a trip to Nicaragua with a group called Project Hope Worldwide. They have me go to film and take photographs of the orphan care that they're doing there. I was supposed to be doing a Sunday vlog with a worship pastor in Nicaragua. It was going to be awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying the Sunday vlogs, by the way. And then there was a COVID outbreak, and so we actually had to come home like earlier than expected. And we came home right into the middle of Vacation Bible School here at our church. And so I was filming for that all week. And then I've just got, I'm sure like many of you, I've got a side hustle. And my side hustle mainly is video and photography. So I was filming roofing company videos and real estate videos and actually filming for another church on Sunday night. And just been so busy, but it's good busy, right? Like it's all good stuff. Love the Sunday vlogs. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. All right, you guys want to look at another church's stream? Let's do it. And if you want me to look at yours, post in the comments, guys. All right, let me hop over here and pull up this other church's. This is a church in Oklahoma City that actually meets in a building where my very first job at a church was. I was there. It was a church plant. It was a gymnasium, like a workout facility, and we had the other part of it, and they've taken it over. It's called North Church. And so let's look at their stream, and I'm going to tell you some details about it. I think, yeah, this is North Church. So North Church uses, they're all like C200s, I believe. And so they're more of a broadcast cinema camera kind of thing. If you think Bethel, they're using like those red Komodos, and I think they were C200s for a while. There's some other churches that are in that. And I was talking to their tech director, and he was telling me kind of the pros and cons of it. But let's check out their stream. It's really well done. So let's see. Experience starts in 5 minutes. So
good morning.
All right, so this is a live
Welcome to our online
on set in the lobby kind of thing, looks like. And so
location pastor. Happy to have you with us.
So excited to be here.
let's fast forward to where they kind of get going into it. They do a baptism thing here at the beginning.
It's
Here we go.
Come on, church. Let's get to our feet. Come on, can we celebrate the life change occurring in our community? Come on, God is moving in North Church.
I like the way they do that in the corner. The name of the song.
So let's give praise. That stirs the spirit and it calls the heart to life. It's an anthem in the making.
So they're doing Spanish lyrics underneath their English, which is kind of cool. I'll turn myself off so you can see it.
Generations getting louder over time. Every son and every daughter singing out into the night. It's not time to be silent. Don't you dare hide your light. There's a world outside the window, so don't let it pass you by. Lift your hands to the heavens, lift your voice to the sky. Praise the Lord of all creation, let his name be lifted high. Singing,
All right, that Skycam thing is cool.
from the famous to the faceless, from the palace to the streets, I can feel that drum beat pulsing, and it's calling you and me. I can hear the world awaken. Oh, the sound is heaven tribe and every nation, singing Jesus, I believe. It's not time.
All right, Jesse from North Church tells me that these guys are using mostly C200s for their auditorium. 4 of them and 2 others. They run 6 cameras for all their experiences. They're using Canon compact servo lenses, so the 70-200, the 18-80, super expensive. And the others are running just regular photography lenses. The main tight camera is actually using a Sigma 60-600. Okay, it's a little bit cheaper lens for that long. And they also have a Sony a7 III. So they've invested in this stuff. We'll watch just a little bit more. That Skycam is awesome.
See the world light up one heart at a time. See the strongholds break in the blink of an eye. Death in all our sin nowhere in sight. For the Lord, He is alive. See the lost return from the dead of the night. Every captive free, every chain left behind. Have you ever seen such a beautiful sight? All the world coming alive.
All right. Let's see if I can get over here and stop this. Where you at, Lily? There we go. All right. So yeah, that's North Church in Oklahoma City. If you want to check out their stream on YouTube, get some ideas, some inspiration. They're doing some really cool stuff. Let's go this way. Let's see. I've got some questions here in the chat. I wish I could bring you on, show your little chat up there, but my H2R graphics is not working. But let's see. Joey Palmer says, what do you use for your stream, software or hardware? That is a great question. So we actually this week just got our Web Presenter HD. Hold on for the thumbnail. That's what you have to do, right? So we are actually moving from software to hardware. And we have used for years a software-based deal called Mimo Live. And it's been okay. It's been good. And so I've just noticed like some quality things. And then with the only thing we're doing with Mimo Live, or the software-based one on our Mac Mini, was literally just feeding it the feed, and then it was just sending it out to Restream. And it's a service that you pay a subscription for every month, kind of like Ecamm Live, I guess. I've never had good experience with OBS, and so we ditched that a long time ago. And so now we are going out of our HyperDeck Mini into this, and then you just push the on-air button, it sends it to Restream, and then Restream sends to YouTube and Facebook. And so I'm excited to see if there is kind of just a small quality difference. And what are you guys using? Are you using software stuff? A lot of people probably using OBS, I would assume. Currently on this stream, I'm feeding from the ATEM straight to YouTube because I don't trust, like, my computer is not powerful enough to handle the encoding as well as show these different streams. And so, yeah, we're excited about this little guy, Web Presenter HD. And let's see, they use Resi. Okay. A lot of people have been jumping on the Resi train with Pro Presenter kind of pushing them, and the redundancy, I guess, that Resi offers. It used to be really expensive. I don't remember how expensive it is now. How much do you pay for Resi a month? Because I think we got some really good deal. I don't remember. I'd be just throwing a number out. It's a few $100 a year to do Restream, and we haven't had any glitches with Restream or anything like that. ATEM into OBS, okay. Rich, how much do you pay for Resi a month, if you don't mind me asking? I'm just curious. Are you using it through Pro Presenter, or do you have like a hardware old school Resi? I forget, wasn't it Living as One, I think? Yeah, so I hear it's amazing though. But for our needs, we're not like multi-campus sending, feeds over to other places or anything like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm excited I'm excited to try little web presenter HD, though. This Sunday will be the first time. Rich says they're using Resi's hardware encoder. Checking on the Resi cost. We'll get that to you in a couple minutes. Thanks, man. Yeah, so he's got the hardware, not just going through Pro Presenter. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Elevate Youth Band. Hello from the UK. Hey, from across the pond. Thanks for hopping on, man. What time is it in the UK right now? It's probably bedtime for you. Let's look at another stream of a church here in Tulsa. It's called Church at Battle Creek. And one of my buddies from college actually is the worship pastor, creative pastor there, I think is what his title is. And I just wanted to highlight one cool thing that they do. They're on another level, you know, as far as like they're a multi-campus church, very large. But I like one way that they open their service. So let me hop over here back over to this, and I'll pull up their stream. All right. So what I like about their opening is, which I'm not sure how this works, but they've got two hosts on stage talking to everyone online. We do that too. Our hosts are sometimes on stage, sometimes out in the lobby, welcoming, trying to, you know, be intentional with the people watching online. They have theirs on stage, but then watch the way they transition into their first song. It's so smooth, and I don't know. I think it's really cool. So let's watch.
For us to know the good news of who Jesus is and who he calls us to be in him. This morning we're going to get to sing a song called My Testimony that declares the goodness of who God is and what he has done in our lives when we surrender our lives to Jesus. Friends, get ready because worship's going to start right now.
Hey, good morning, church. How you doing today? Let's put your hands together like this. We're going to sing. We're going to worship. We'd love for you to join in and sing with us. And I saw Satan fall like lightning. And I saw darkness run for cover. But the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. Declare it together. I believe in signs and wonders. I have resurrection power. Yes, I do. Still the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. Come on. My praise belongs to you forever. Declare it. This is my testimony from death to life. Whose grace rewrote my story. I'll testify by Jesus Christ the righteous. I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony.
Sounds so good. Anyways, I just love the way they kind of had that such a smooth transition. I don't know how that works for people in the room. Does that feel awkward to have everyone on the people on stage hosting, talking straight to the camera, and then you kind of roll right into it? That's the battle, right? Is like ignoring one audience or the other. So, but I love the way they kind of spoke into that. Hey, this next song that we're going to be singing is about our testimony in Christ. And so maybe they said stand, I don't remember. And then they just rolled right into it, you know? Just transitions make the biggest difference. Let's see if I can find, I think they do like an exit kind of recap thing too. Oh, here's gospel.
What an amazing message from our Broken Arrow campus pastor, Josh Welchel. Special thanks to him for
this is
blessing
something
us
we
today
don't do
with that amazing word.
that I think we should
truly
do.
Hope that you've
Just kind of
experienced
recap.
God here today. And if you haven't had the opportunity, I want to invite you right now to fill out an online Connect card. It's an online Connect card. What it does for you is it allows you to get to know more about who we are and what your next steps could be. What this online Connect card does for us is it allows us to come alongside you and support you with prayer or encouragement, whatever that looks like in your journey that allows us to support you. All you have to do to fill out that Connect card today is text the word Battle Creek.
That's awesome. And I don't know if that's pre-recorded or not. I mean, they have the ability to do it live. They do live all the time. But this segment might be actually pre-recorded, and then you just hit play on it and send it over to the live stream. All right, let me get back over here and turn this guy off. And all right, let's see. So that was the church at Battle Creek, and they are a multi-location church. They have a location here in our city in Owasso as well, but that's the main campus. So if you want to get some more inspiration, check out their live streams as well. Going back to hardware versus software live streaming, Rich says for us it's $1,800 a year for Resi. We started with Vimeo and moved last October. Been very happy with it so far. Very reliable for us. All right, so let me just look and see how much we pay for Restream. It's not the same level. Okay, yeah, but let's see. Receipt from Restream, $245. So you paid $1,800. We paid $245. I get a new GH5. But no, I mean, live streaming is obviously very important. We've yet to have any issues with Restream. But let's see if I can find. Okay, 50% off Restream. Okay, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do it. And I'm going to give you a 50% off Restream annual subscription. Okay, so hit the subscribe button, like the video, and here is the 50% off. It's ReStudio 50. So let me see if I can put this right here on the screen. ReStudio 50. Oh, looky there. I think I typed that right. ReStudio 50. Yep. So here I am. So use that if you want to get Restream. I'm going to move this guy down. I'm using H2R graphics to do this stuff on screen because my computer could not handle the encoding. So it's a pretty cool little program. So yeah, it cost us, it's $490 for the year, it looks like, for the one that we were doing, which gives us YouTube. It gives us 3, I think, sends. We were sending to YouTube, Facebook, and also to an RTMP for on the like phone call. They could call in. We stopped doing that though. Nobody was using it. So hope that's okay that I'm sharing that. Let's see. So Caleb says, I was at this service this past week. It is not awkward at all. Gets the audience engaged and prepared to worship. You were at Broken Arrows at the BA campus. That's cool, man. I didn't realize you were local. Or maybe you're just saying you're at a church that does it too. Let me turn off that. Let's see. She's kind of talking to both. Yeah, it has to be the right kind of host, I think. Somebody who really is good at that. That you're kind of engaging those in the room, but then you're also talking to the camera. So if you have the right person, I think it could be great. Caleb asks, are you over all social media at your church? Currently, yes. For the past 11 years, I've been the one who manages all social media, which is why we basically focus on Facebook and Instagram. Our youth and children do have their own separate pages, and they can post to those as well. But I'm over all of that. We use things like Sunday Social. I got in on the ground floor. Oh, wait. Am I on? Yeah, I am. Got in on the ground floor on Sunday Social, so I have a really good price on that. Joe Cavazos, who designs for them, actually designed our church logo for us back in the day. And so we use them for stuff, and then Igniter, and that's pretty much it. And then the rest of it is just, we have a photography team that we started here at the church, and so they post into SmugMug, and I can show you real quick maybe how our SmugMug works. Let's see if I can hop over here. Hello from South Africa. Asher. Dude, that's awesome, man. Thanks so much for hopping on. What time is it in South Africa? Okay, let's see. All right. Do this, do that. All right, so we recently started a photography team. We have 4 photographers currently. 2 of them are professionals. 2 of them are students. One who has taken some photography classes. But we recently started using SmugMug as opposed to Google Drive. And so if you're looking into this, I think it's been a great deal. SmugMug is super cheap, and we've got things organized by year. So for instance, if we go in here to our galleries for each year, we've got, for instance, this Sunday we had baptism. They can upload, you can give them a private link for your photographers from home if they want to edit, and then they can upload from their house after they edit. We have a computer here that is just like an extra iMac that our 2 other photographers will just take the SD card and go ahead and just throw them into SmugMug. Sometimes we just shoot JPEG. I mean, it's fine for social. But the great thing about SmugMug is that you can tag photos, and so it's a lot easier to search. I've got to go over here and go this way. So like on your back end, say you're searching for baptism stuff because you've got an upcoming baptism, you could come in here and just search baptism if your intern has tagged all the photos with baptism. And you come in here and you can grab a baptism photo. And so I've really been liking SmugMug. Do you guys have a different thing? I think fluoro photos out of Australia, the Hillsong thing is an option too, but it was more expensive. So, hello from Singapore, midnight here. Dude, that's awesome. Isn't this so cool that we can like just hop on and get together from all around the world? So that brings me to one of my questions that I have for you guys. Why do you watch my channel? The goal of my channel is really to inspire, to educate, to entertain with all things worship tech. And so I started out in ministry. Well, I did start out in music, but my first full-time ministry job was as a full-time media director. And I was really just kind of thrown into it by a buddy of mine that thought that I had potential. And so now I'm a full-time worship and media arts pastor here in Owasso, Oklahoma. And so I kind of do both. And so I'm somebody who's week in and week out in the trenches with you guys. And so I figure, I can just kind of share the things I'm learning. I spent so long just in the forums on Facebook, chiming in on different stuff. And I thought I can just make a video and that can reach so many more people than me one at a time explaining how our cameras are set up or something like that. So Steven says, super informative, have learned a ton from you. Man, that's so cool. Okay, so that's why you watch, just kind of learn. I do the Sunday vlogs. Really, those are more of like my favorite thing to do. And so just to document the journey. There's a guy I follow called Scott McKenna, who he was a full-time worship pastor, and now he runs a video production company. And I do a ton of video production on the side as well. And he is really huge on, I think he's kind of a Gary V follower about, document the journey. And I came back from a 10-year sabbatical. I wasn't on sabbatical for 10 years. I've been working here for 10 years and I got 2 months off, I think. I came back from that and I was just like, I've not been doing a great job of documenting the journey. And so I really wanted to kind of start doing that. So that's one of the reasons I've started this YouTube channel. Now, I'm super close to getting 1,000 subscribers, which would mean a couple things. It would mean that I could have a community tab where I could interact with you guys a little bit more. It would also mean that I could monetize things. I could do affiliate marketing at that point, probably. Amazon has rejected me like 2 or 3 times now after paying me for a month. And so, I'm not looking to make this a full-time thing, but, it'd be nice to have something to show for it. I do have 3 children and a wife as well. So Joey says, you're at the next level and make the pathway to that level very clear for churches at my level. Nice. Well, yeah, so our church, we run, we're growing, but we run about 400 people on a Sunday right now. We have a traditional service and a contemporary service, and I'm in charge of both of them. Polly's Island Community Church. Ryland is the best. Our team loves you and has benefited so much from your work. Polly's Island, South Carolina is better because you serve the church. Thanks, Dustin. You're the best. Asher says, I found your tech booth makeover because we're busy setting up a video team. Then I subscribed because you have a lot of knowledge. That's awesome, dude. Thanks a bunch. Willie, to learn, to get better, to help others with knowledge achieved, but the main reason is to give the best version of myself to God. That's so cool. I try to just like share the inner thoughts that I'm having as a worship pastor. It's a little scary to put it out there online sometimes because, you know, when you post, you know, the verse, judge not unless you be judged. Now it's post not lest you be judged. And so, like for instance, this Sunday, July 4th, Independence Day here in America is on a Sunday. And I have a lot of thoughts about that. But I'm a little weary to share them. I just don't know if it's worth it, you know? And so, music and leadership, can you talk about juggling two different service types? How do you rehearse and manage the logistics between both? Yeah, man, that's a great question. Well, I grew up as a little Baptist baby. And so I heard all the hymns and stuff growing up. And so that's a really like comfortable thing for me to sing. And so it's a very simple service. We just do it with a piano / organ, not an organist. The piano she's using main stage and can throw some organ in there with it. We rehearse just literally 20 minutes before the service starts because they're all familiar 90s praise choruses with some hymns, shout to the Lord, that kind of thing. We've done them a ton. I did spend some time I kind of felt like that service was not getting the respect or the time that it should. It's a much smaller service. We run about 75 in it. And so we actually went all out and added an orchestra, full thing. Like it was amazing, you know, over the top stuff. And our people didn't care. Like they just wanted it. Like they want to sing the hymns like they've always sang them, right? And so don't change them up. So that one's really pretty simple to do. Then we have a Sunday school hour in between those two services, and our band shows up then. And we do just a quick run through. For about 15 minutes, we have the mains on, and then we have to turn the mains off because we have Sunday school classes meeting. So our main rehearsal is on Wednesday nights. So what about you guys? Do you rehearse during the week, or do you just do everything on Sunday morning? For us, I really prefer to have a rehearsal during the week if we can, just to iron out anything. And then Sunday morning is literally just running through it with the full tech thing and making sure there's no craziness. But do you guys have midweek rehearsals where you're serving at? John David says, I love watching your videos because of your personality and your wisdom. I really enjoy the Sunday vlogs and the new BTS church photography. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you guys would like the photography thing. I do a lot of photography on the side, but it's really not my main thing. But I enjoy watching kind of like what people are seeing as they're trying to capture those shots. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks for checking it out. John, are you a photographer as well, or are you that's just something you enjoy watching? John says, John Murphy says, we have a midweek rehearsal and then a final run through on Sunday morning. Okay, yeah, that's us too. How many people attend our church? We run about 400 right now. We are trending up, and the trend line is going up. And so we're talking about like adding services and what does that look like in the future, you know, if God continues to grow our church. So usually about 75 to 100 people in the first service, the traditional service, and then 250 to 300. Now that includes nursery, volunteers, band, everybody. So music and leadership, we rehearse on Thursdays and do a run through Sunday. Been thinking about adding a second service that would have traditional music instead of the modern stuff. Yeah, and I've seen some people do, I don't think that traditional services are a growth engine of your church necessarily. They may be in your where you're at, I'm not sure. But some churches will add those on like a Sunday night or a Wednesday night, which could be an option as well. For us, we've just always had it, and we're not going to kill it because it allows me to have a very traditional service, and then the other service can be as modern as I want it. I don't have to walk this line of like, nobody's happy, basically, you know? So, and we still do hymns and stuff in our second service. Gregors, I do not know where you're messaging me at, but I've not seen them. So maybe send me a DM on Instagram, or sometimes the Facebook ones just get lost if I'm not your friend. So Joey says, how do you come up with the innovative ideas you have for your live stream? Are there certain people you follow, groups on Facebook, or just think real hard and poof, ideas appear? some of my favorite YouTubers, I just spend a lot of time watching tech stuff on YouTube as well. And so some of the stuff I've just kind of stumbled across by watching other people that aren't like churches. I think that's probably the key. You know, like the cable cam that we have. I stumbled upon that through Kickstarter, through a different Facebook group, I think. And so decided it was worth a shot. Same thing with the zooming in and out PD Live Air 2. So that's kind of that. Jay Walker, I'm a professional video producer, and I love your channel because it helps me better understand my worship pastor, who's a techie as well. That's cool. Yes, Nathan, I am definitely reviewing live streams. So if you can post yours in the comments with some details on your setup, that'd be awesome, and I'll hop over and do that. We've looked at 3 so far. Willie, how long do you guys run rehearsal on Sunday mornings? Our rehearsals start at 9:15 as long as we end first service on time. Then we can have the mains on until 9:30. And then we're usually done by about 9:40, 9:45. And so we're just using in-ears only for that last section. And that's because we have small groups meeting around the building, and it's just too loud. So, okay, I do have a question for you guys. And then hopefully, Nathan, you'll drop yours in the comments so we can look at that. How do you guys deal with a cold, like a sore throat? I've tried every home remedy under the sun, and 2 times a year, inevitably, I just get this thing where, like, I can feel it coming on the last 2 days, and I've been battling it. But do you have any good home remedies for dealing with, like, the sore throat stuff and the crud? Because mine always starts with drainage, and then I can just feel my throat burning, and that's the first day, and I'm like, oh no, here it comes. Like, I don't know, the cottonwoods are falling down or something, and it's going to get me. And then I'm taking Mucinex right when that starts. I'm doing nasal rinses. I'm already taking Singulair, I think, every day. And then just drinking tons of water, vitamin C, throat coat with honey, gargling hot salt water. I've even tried things like, I've done the humidifier thing, where you breathe through that deal, sleep with the humidifier on. It's really been rainy here, so I don't need a humidifier in our house right now. I even went as far as taking shots of olive oil before I sang. Somebody, I think on The Voice, did that one time. And this girl was like, oh, it definitely like coats your throat. And I was like, I'll try that. And it was the grossest thing I've ever tried. So do you have any good home remedies that you think really do help? And it's so frustrating. Like, it's a blessing to be able to sing, but like if I was just a guitarist, I'd be like, whatever, I got a sore throat, it's fine, allergies. But it gets in your head a little bit as a worship pastor because, you know, it's your instrument. John says, I started watching because of the vlogs. We, like most churches, have to start streaming. We had to start streaming our services due to the pandemic, and ever since then, I've been trying to learn as much as possible. Yeah, I think that's true of a lot of guys. Taylor asked a question, what decibels do you typically run during the modern service? So let's see. We do not track our decibels any longer, but when we first got going, we started using this app called Audio Tools, and it costs a little bit. But the great thing about Audio Tools, we have multiple volunteer audio engineers, sound guys. They're not engineers. We had a professional come set up the system, but our other guys mix. And so what we did to try and get everybody to a good baseline, and I don't remember what it was. I mean, I feel like it's probably around like 96, and then I don't remember if that's DBC, DBA. I think it's DBA slow. But the great thing about Audio Tools is that it will track on a graph, and it also has like a stoplight thing where if they're getting above what you want them to be at, you can have an iPad sitting there. It'll start flashing red like, hey, you're getting a little loud. And so, but the great thing for me was that I was able to see which sound guys, how they run it each week. So I had one guy that was running it a lot softer, maybe 3 to 5 dBs lower than the other guys. And so I was able to over a couple months, kind of train them on where we wanted that to be at. Now, we have a very dead room. We have sound panels everywhere, black curtains, chairs, carpet, drop ceiling. It's just very dead. So I just don't think that the number game always works. So, let's see. My wife loves to use the neti pot. Yeah, the neti pot, one time I did it and my nose was plugged and it went into my ear and I had water in my ear for like a month. So I don't do the neti pot anymore. Nathan says we have a Blackmagic web presenter now. Awesome. Yes. I'm excited about mine as well. Just got it hooked up yesterday. It's working good. Throat coat tea by Traditional Medicinals. Yep, all the time. Timothy says, I'm Asian. We would usually go for our herbal he says concussion. I think he meant concoction for sore throats. Yes, I've tried many different concoctions. Fisherman's Friend. Oh man, yeah, Fisherman's Friend. I used to inhale Fisherman's Friend. They actually are pretty good. They do something about opening you up a little bit. You know, it's not mentholy, but it's not bad. I used to always have those. Timothy says, but I think ginger and honey would be the next best remedy. I've just found nothing other than sleeping, hot showers, and drinking tons of water. Like, I feel like that's really what helps. So, I hope this is helpful for you. I was waiting on, I think was it Nathan that was going to drop? Nathan, drop a link to your stream in the comments, bud, and we'll check it out. I would love to. I've got about maybe 10 more minutes that I can go here, and then I have to run. So today, let's see. Your views on Canon's new CR-n500 PTZ Cam, affordable PTZ Cam with a 1-inch sensor. Looks promising. Ezekiel, I will have to check that out. I've yet to see footage from a PTZ Cam that I thought looked really good compared to, I mean, we're just using micro 4/3, but 1-inch sensor, maybe, yeah. I think it goes beyond that, though, for me. I was just over doing a consult with a church here in Owasso, and they had some PTZ cams up on the wall. And for me, for churches of our size, I can't allocate that much budget to a camera that has one job. I need my cameras to be flexible. Like, for instance, I went in and got a G85 and a GH5 out of the worship center, brought them in here to do this live stream. You know, if you're wanting to do filming testimonials, you're wanting to capture, you know, things around your church out in the community, like a PTZ cam, it's locked into place and it has one job, and it basically, you're going to preset it on 4 different positions. So I think that there's probably times when maybe that is the best bet. And so I'll check into those. I don't know. But that's interesting that it has a 1-inch sensor. You know, maybe it'd be awesome. Asher says, how do you grow a tech team? I'm struggling to get committed volunteers. Yeah, so that's a great question. From our setting in our church, the only thing that works is one-on-one invitations. And so we've done the thing where we publicize, hey, we need volunteers, or are you interested in being in the band? You know, go to this link. That never works. Blanket invites just don't work. What has worked for me is whenever I see potential in certain people, or maybe I know, like, that guy, he runs IT at the bank, and so he could probably help us with our network. So I go to him and I say, hey, Stuart, you know, would you be interested in helping us? You know, are you familiar with these things? That works. If I see a kid who is posting on his Instagram really nice photos, I'll go to them, a student, and say, hey, would you be interested in, like, shadowing in our photography team? So that one-on-one invite culture, you have to be involved in that, I feel like. And then what has happened with us is, as I have grown in excellence in our ministry, people have been attracted to that. And then I'll have some people come to me and say, hey, man, like, I love what you're doing with the lighting. Like, I'd love to serve and see how I can do that. And so then we have kind of a process for onboarding the different positions, which I can go into another time. Dustin says, what do you use to overcome power surges and lightning strikes? We keep having issues and had to replace our switcher this week. Well, We have never had the power go out during a service here, but we did have the power go out 2 days ago here during big storms, and it made me wonder that same question, Dustin. I don't have everything on battery backups or anything like that. I do have all of our stuff on protected power surge, surge protectors. So all of our ATEMs, our soundboard, computers, all those things are surge protected. But if the power is going to go out, then it'll just be one of those like viral videos where it's like the power went out and we just kept singing How He Loves and this is what it's supposed to be all about. You've seen those where I'm like, I feel like I even heard of one camp that did that on purpose. Like they like cut the power to make it feel like it was this special moment. That's just horrible. But you could put a UPS on like the very essential things, but if the power goes out, like, I don't know, it's going to be out. So, yeah. Oh, what does the web presenter do? Yeah. This essentially does what the ATEM Mini and the ATEM Mini, or the ATEM Mini Pro and the ATEM Mini Extreme can do, where it's a hardware encoder of your stream. And so instead of sending your stream out of your ATEM Studio HD into a Mac Mini or another computer and then using a software to encode it, this little guy does the encoding. And so it's got, ours is just going SDI input into the in, and then an Ethernet cable plugged into it, and you just program your credentials in there and you hit on air and it just goes and does it. So hopefully that's helpful. It's really annoying that you have to pay $500 to get that when their other switchers do it. They need to come out with an updated Studio HD or 4K even at this point that has like 4 SDI inputs, 4 HDMI inputs, and then has SuperSource and has built-in recording and built-in encoding, and then I wouldn't need anything else, right? So, because currently we have 2 ATEM Studio HDs, a HyperDeck Mini recording, and then now the Web Presenter HD. So, all right, guys. I think that's about it. I would love to do this again sometime. So if you're enjoying the live stream stuff, would you just like this video? And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I'd really, really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Hold on, I've got a special lower third for that. And if you're a Napoleon Dynamite fan, then you'll understand what I mean when I say like and subscribe and all your wildest dreams will come true. I appreciate it though. Brian, that's a good question. And we'll get to it next time. We'll see about doing the Sunday vlog this Sunday, July 4th. It could be a special one. I don't know. So stay tuned. I got some other good ideas coming up on the horizon for just things that I'm learning and I'm going to share with you guys. So I really appreciate you hopping on the live stream today. Let's do it again sometime. Have a great weekend. Remember, guys, we can do a lot of great things. Let's do them all for the right reasons. We'll see you in the next one.